Keir Starmer's premiership is in freefall after a devastating Supreme Court ruling that has exposed his government's shocking incompetence. This isn't just a political setback, it's a full-blown crisis that could end his leadership. The court's decision strikes at the heart of Starmer's most controversial policies, including his brutal welfare cuts and the reckless dismantling of NHS England. These plans, which would have slashed billions from disability benefits and thrown the healthcare system into chaos, have now been declared unlawful. The ruling exposes Starmer's government as not just cruel, but constitutionally reckless. This disaster comes as Starmer's approval ratings collapse to just 17%, lower than Boris Johnson's at the same stage. The man who promised stable, competent leadership is now presiding over utter chaos. Senior Labour figures are already distancing themselves, with Ed Miliband reportedly considering resignation over Starmer's betrayal of green energy commitments. The welfare cuts alone would have pushed nearly 1 million disabled people into poverty, stripping away essential support for heating, food, and medication. Even George Osborne, the architect of Tory austerity, reportedly warned these cuts went too far. Yet Starmer pressed ahead, even using his own family's experience with disability to cynically justify policies that would devastate vulnerable families. Meanwhile, his secretive plan to dissolve NHS England sparked mass resignations among top health officials who refused to be associated with this disaster. Chief Financial Officer Julian Kelly and Chief Operating Officer Emily Lawson walked out in protest, recognizing the catastrophic damage this would cause to patient care. The Supreme Court intervened precisely because Starmer tried to bulldoze these changes through without proper consultation or parliamentary scrutiny. His authoritarian approach, ignoring experts, sidelining ministers, and silencing critics, has backfired spectacularly. Inside Labour, rebellion is growing. Diane Abbott accused Starmer of betraying the party's values, while moderate MPs compare his leadership style to Donald Trump's, obsessed with loyalty and hostile to dissent. Even Deputy PM Angela Rayner fiercely opposed the welfare cuts, forcing a temporary delay as the government panicked about backlash. Charities are sounding the alarm, with Scope warning these policies would plunge thousands into poverty. The SNP has demanded a public apology. And with NHS waiting lists at record highs, Starmer's decision to gut the very organization coordinating care shows either staggering incompetence or deliberate sabotage. Now, with the Supreme Court ruling against him, Starmer faces an impossible choice: double down and risk total rebellion, or retreat and admit his entire agenda is collapsing. Either way, his credibility is shattered. This was supposed to be Labour's fresh start. Instead, Starmer has delivered chaos, cruelty, and constitutional crises. The man who promised to restore trust in politics is now the most distrusted Prime Minister in recent memory. If you want to see how this crisis unfolds, and whether Starmer survives, hit subscribe now. The coming weeks could determine not just his future, but the fate of the entire Labour government. With legal defeats, cabinet revolts, and public outrage growing, one thing is clear: Keir Starmer's premiership is unraveling at breathtaking speed. And this Supreme Court ruling may be the beginning of the end.